Okay, now you've gone into this vacant house, then what? You guys have furniture or it's just...
Yeah. I had money.
Yeah.
You remember,
you,
I already cleared Form 4 in 2005.
Yeah.
And this is in that ordeal with my stepfather happened in December 2005. And now I moved to my auntie's. I stayed with her like 4 months. And my boyfriend was in NYS. He has only finished his training at Mtongwe.
Okay.
So he has come. I had money. Me, I was making money. Him, he was a NYS guy.
Yeah.
So I had money. I know. Lakini siku hizi, ever since Professor Margaret Kobia became the minister, they have a lot of money. They are paid there.
Okay, wow. That's
yeah,
good.
so those days it was not as prominent as now, but I'm the boss, I have money, and this is my man.
Yes.
Why shouldn't I invest in him and we love each other?
Why not?
So my aunt advised me, we rented that house, I bought furniture. Very nice seats. No, before I bought the seats, I was afraid. I had like 20,000. And remember, I had gone to visit this guy in Mombasa where I spent another 20,000. I had gone for his pass out. Is it pass out or some graduation, something after the course?
Yes.
So we moved to this house. I bought a bed, I bought a mattress, I bought a Mekong gas. No, I bought a stove. I bought some carpet, the PVC carpet. I furnished it, kidogo, curtains, sure. Mtungi we used to sit on mtungi.
Yes.
Until I realized business is doing good. So I bought with the time. With the time, then he moved in. We moved in and started staying together.
Yes.
I bought furniture. We started doing some electrical connections here. He would get some little money, which I don't know anyway where he used to take his money, because me has never supported me. I'm not afraid of saying it. He can come out and say he supported me if he did. And after some time, my mom learned about it. And his mother really didn't want this relationship. Because you remember, I'm from a poor family. These guys ban our dynasties.
Yeah. Even with your money?
Even my, what is mine is coins. Which I have is coins. Those guys are millionaires.
Oh.
Yeah, so everyone was against the relationship, but it was me and him against the world. And my mom could not do anything about it. His mom could not do anything about it. Because love beats our arms. And we stayed. After some time, I conceived. Actually, I didn't even conceive just like that. I wanted to go to school. So I discussed with him and told him, I would like to go to school. I would like to go to college or university. And he was like, yeah, you will go. But I didn't have enough money. And I thought he would support me as my boyfriend. And he told me I'll talk to my mom to see whether she can support. And the mom refused. And he was like, boy, you are trying to justify my fears.
Yes.
But this girl will come for our money.
Yes. Stop
this nonsense. So I made money, and for some reason, when the mother loves her son so much. He's the most favorite child. And he told me, I've discussed with my mom, and she says, if you go to the university, you will abandon me. Yes. You'll go with the rich men, so you have a kid first. I was like, you want me to conceive? Yes. So what is the problem? What are we lacking? I'm here, you're here. Si tutafute mtoto. If you see, my son is very clean. Mtoto msafi. Because alikuwa wa kutafutwa. See, I didn't wake up one morning and I was expectant. So I conceived my baby, and I was like 2 months, 3 months pregnant. It is me and my then fiance who knew, and he went and talked to the parents. They brought some dowry. Me, I don't know whether there was a dowry or no, because I was not in my relationship. Remember, his mother doesn't want me by all means. So I hear they came for some dowry negotiation. They paid some 52,000 and some goat. So I was not there, and neither was he. So someone married in absentia of the couple. So my mom later told me she was given some 52,000. The dowry negotiation was 200K, but they were like, we can't pay 200,000 msichana wenu hajasoma. Na nyinyi pesa tena ni mingi sana, hata hamujafikia hiyo, mbona mnataka kwetu? And my mom took what was there. I got married in 2006. And in 2007 and 2008 I gave birth to Gian. He went to school. I was left in the market taking care of the baby. Then I relocated now to his home. So he has gone to school. Then I made teachers calling, so I relocated to his home. And I stayed there. Life was very difficult. Staying with a mother-in-law, you have a child, you know. There is a saying in Kimeru that says, "Ndakudore tumanda kwenda." So it wasn't easy. I stayed there. She would feed me. She would give me cooked food. Sometimes I became like a house help at home. I used to help at home with one of his late daughters, may her soul rest in, her late daughters, may her soul rest in peace. So I took care of my son. So I asked my husband, when am I going back to school? He said, after my 2 years, you will go. So after 2 years, after 2 years, he went, after his teaching, whatever, he went to for his grad. I used to go to visit him, I supported him a lot. Remember, sasa mimi nimeomoka kwa soko. The business is going up, I've worked with DCK, I'm supplying to the serious board. I've made money, so I would support him, I would support the family. I would be home, but I was bad from going out back to the market at their home. And I have to be obedient because I'm now a wife. And according to Meru culture, a wife, you must listen, you must be obedient. Even if you're being oppressed, don't try to say I'm oppressed. So I kept quiet. I didn't want to go to tell my mother so much because she was against me getting married to that family. And the family itself didn't want me to get married there. Now, in Yaibu na feature between me and my husband. Anyway, life happened, I made money. There is a gentleman called Mutwiri who just died last year and his soul rest in peace. He was my classmate in primary. I'm the only girl who beat that guy in class. So we had lost touch. One day I was passing in the market and I called him the way you call customers. Customer, come kuja nikuuzie, kuja nikuambie. I was a very aggressive girl. So when he came, he asked me why I'm not in school. I explained. I'm very good at explaining myself, by the way. I explained, and the guy really shed tears. I also cried. And he told me, Irene, if you don't go to the university, this country will lose a great woman. And he reminded me, Wangari Maathai had just died a few months. And he told me, we need a replica of Wangari Maathai. And you are one. I have schooled with you, you have been a prefect, you have been a head girl, I know what you can do. So he challenged me. I had I'd saved like 700,000 in my account. And I had stock. Mimi nishaomoka niko na pesa. But no one knew. If anyone says she didn't have, it is me who knows what I'd saved. It was my money. And I came to the university. So he helped me apply for the University of Nairobi. I applied Bachelor of Education. After 1 month, I came to the university. So the guy and his parents refused to stay with their son, Gia. And I was like, we have this another Meru saying, Otenjo weremembo kuongo ayo. So I came with my son in school. I barely knew Nairobi. Yes. But I told you again, when I want something, you can't stop me. I was like, let me take my son, because Muturian told me the money I had was more than enough. Yes. Even if I did not do anything, that would be more than enough for my school fees. Then he told me of help. He told me of Jogo House bursary. He told me about CDF bursaries. Information is fine. It gave me so much information that I didn't have. Information which I had, I could not have stayed in the market for 6 years. Yes. I could have stayed for 2 or 3 years or even 1 year. And I came to the University of Nairobi with my son. And I started schooling. Then I ventured into student politics. I was so social. I'm a social animal. I love talking to people. I'm very, sometimes people wonder, and people remind me, Kendi, at your status. Why do you go in the street talking to people, stop you? And I'm like, what is status? Because I don't want pride to overtake me. I don't want to feel so important. I want to remain the Kendi that I was. Yes. I don't want to undermine or underestimate anyone that was underestimated. I don't want to demean anyone the way I was demeaned. I want to be me. Even if I become the president of this country, I just want to be me. So I came to the university and students were like, we want you to be our student leader. We'll be our class rep. Because I used to fight a lot for comrades' rights. I remember in the market, I used to Akieto, I was the leader. Yes. So in the university I have come, I'm very confident, and I became the first female mayor in KQ campus. After some times now, my name went so big, and I was so famous and prominent. I vied for gender affairs. And time university with no money. By the way, I won, but I was rigged out. This rigging out thing is very real. It's real. Motion is real. Yeah. So I was rigged out, but I didn't give up. Yes. I don't give up in life no matter what happens. I pick my pieces, and I continue going. And I became like Raila Odinga of the University of Nairobi. I became the head of opposition. So when things are not going well, I'm the one to address them. Yes. So other universities, other campuses were like, this girl, so confident, so charismatic. Because I would hear students are rioting in Lower Kabete and I'd be there. They are rioting in Kenyatta, I'm there. They are rioting in Bena, I'm there. And I'm in Kikuyu. Na mtoto wako shule sasa nakimbia huko. So when Babu heard about me, he looked for me. I had a privilege to be, I had the privilege to be a commissioner in the review constitution of Sonu. So we reviewed the constitution. And I thank God He has blessed me with a lot of wisdom. I'm very wise, and I love when everyone takes, I love equality. And I felt in the Constitution, the girl child was not well represented. They are given 2 possessions out of 8 possessions. That is gender inequality. So I stood up. And I was like, in this Constitution, we need gender parity. We need 2/3 gender rule. Actually, I wanted 50-50, which was made impossible, but at least I got. The 2/3 was achieved. We created a possession where the president and the running mate must be of opposite gender. It is Irene Kendi who slithered or sneaked that clause in the Constitution. And Professor Kameri Mbote and Professor Ben Sihanya, they are the ones that I consult. They said it's possible. They were in the Constitution. They were the legal advisors. So I talked to the gentlemen in the Constitution. They loved me. This thing you must learn how to negotiate without being rough, without being that feminist, the feminism they know. So the young men were like, yeah, we'll support you, Kendi. And if you are I told them I'll take this. I said, if you are the one taking it, why not? Even in the same Constitution, the roles and the duties and roles and privilege of the deputy president, I'm the one who wrote them. Up to date in the Constitution. So when that was possible, Babu said, I wanted to be the chair, but I couldn't afford them. And I wanted to be the treasurer. Babu said, no, you are the one who has brought this. Be my running mate. Bro, tulitesa. We won with landslide. In the history of Europe, there has never been elections like that one. We really won. The administration doesn't want us, the government doesn't want us, but we stood. The spirit of comradeship, and we won. That's how I made history. That's how broke the glass ceiling. That's how the media wanted to know, who is this girl? The media was all over. Now they came to learn. I'm in school with my son. I came to the school with my son. I was with him all along. I would go to class with him. I would go to politics with him. I would go to meetings with him. And after I completed university, now within that year of 2014, the deputy president, I really became so famous because the media was all over me, partners all over me, everyone want to work with me. My mother is happy. Now I have achieved the dream of making my mother a strong. I have achieved what I wanted to achieve since childhood. That now I'm the celebrity. Everyone in the market is telling my mother about her daughter and everything. I started Kufsla at the university. You know, also I told you about gender equality. When I realized there is inequality, even at the top leadership of the university, leadership in all universities, I started a movement called KUFSLA, Kenya Universities Female Student Association, that is active even today. I founded it and I brought together our elected female students across the university, both private and public. And I'm so passionate about governance and leadership. So I used to go to every university. Now, you know, they see me on TV. Now I'm wearing nice suits. Nimepata pesa. Pesa, makeup, nini. Nimekuwa celeb. So I would address media confidently. I would go to universities and they're waiting for Mama Yao. I would address comrades and the fire in me and the University of Nairobi. The student would feel. And I would go and campaign for girls. And my girls won. Winnie Nyandira became the first female president of a public university. Masinda Muliro, I think Masinda Muliro. Winnie Nyandira became the president. Rose Gakuo, Laikipia president. There is another girl called Jeb Kosgei Harmony. There is a university, she became the president. So I did, and then we started now going to the universities and secondary schools, mentoring girls and boys, and talking, telling them, telling my story. Then Atoli saw me one day speak on TV, and he said, I love this girl. Her passion is out of this world. Her energy is what we need in the trade union. So he called me in his office. I went. I used to mobilize students, take them to Uru Park. You know, I'm so passionate about agitation. So I would really take the students there, listen to the bill, what the CBAs, listen to what the Labor Day is offering this year for the young people. I would talk to Atoli about student issues, how to strengthen the student union, student movement. Atoli gave me a job. And that time, I went to Ghana for a summit, and I was awarded the most outstanding female student leader in Africa in 2014. I made history there. I didn't know just my personality speaks, and I would address issues. I would address media, I would address stuff, and they said, this girl. So I won that award. And back in Kenya in 2015, I won another award as the most outstanding female mentor in Kenya. When I do my mentorship, it's not in motivational speaking, I do real mentorship. I inspire generations, and I just tell my story and share with the generations how I made it. And because you have seen my history, if I made it, they can make it. Then from there, I met Professor Margaret Kobe when she was the public service chair. We became friends. I used to volunteer in our office as well. We became friends. And I worked with Atwoli after graduation. So Professor Kobe approached me from Atwoli's. And I went to work with her as a personal assistant and advice on political matters. Actually, I was advisor first on youth. Then youth was moved from us to Musheru. So I retained my position as a political advisor. This is a political CISO. And I know politics very well. I'm a serious political strategist. Yes. And in 2017, I was with Professor Margaret Kobe when you were working for Uhuru Kenyatta. He's our president, you know. And that's when also my prominence came up. And unfortunately, I lost my mom in a road crash in 2017. Sorry. My mom died. In 2017, she died. And my life almost crashed. And in 2014, when it became so prominent, I was in a very abusive. Sasa yule bwana ameanza kunifuata kunitukana. He don't want me to rise. He don't want me to shine. He don't want me to do anything. No, he just want to beat me, want to control me, want to stop me. Why are you stopping me and you're not supporting me? One, I'm studying with a child and with a father, loitering in Maua. Two, whatever I was doing business at the university, I was selling pants, I was selling earrings, I was doing photography. I did everything to make sure my son doesn't go down, because I have to pay school fees for my son, pay for myself, pay an house help, pay the bills, go to class, do politics, help my mother in the market. So this guy felt like he's becoming a burden because he didn't want me really to be anything. Remember, even when I was coming to the, he didn't want me to come to the university. One day he beat me, I almost died. He used to beat me a lot when I was married to me, even before I came to the university. One day he saw my letter to come to the university and that guy beat me like a dog. So I divorced him, and that time it became so violent.
I was reading your book. Is this where the mental health issues start arising from? Because now, I think from where you've left it, there's so much going very well for you, but on this other side, there is almost the opposite happening from your relationship.
I think that's why it could have started, because it was so traumatizing in beating me in front of my son, insulting me, calling me a prostitute. His mother is calling me, insulting me. Her mother who said he's married, she doesn't stay in Nairobi, so she's insulting me as well. And there was too much going in my life. And when my mom died in 2017, before my mom died, this gentleman, we separated in 2014, and he met me in a hotel with a knife. He wanted to kill me. He even pricked my eyes. Even today, my eyes are not as strong as they were. I feel pain. And there are so many scars he left in my body. God knows I forgave him, but I'll never forget the pain he caused me. So, unfortunately, in 2017, my mom died in a road crash. I think that's what caused my depression. So I sank into depression. I was diagnosed in 2018 when I was working with Professor Margaret. Also, so many good things happened to me. Professor Margaret has absorbed me. She has become my mother. She done so much for me. So that accepting my mother, I was in denial for some time that my mother died. So that is the major reason that I sank into depression, because I didn't mourn my mother. Remember, Maraga ametupilia kina Uhuru. Kwa Atwoli nilitoroka nikaenda kwa siasa ya Jubilee na mtu wa NASA. You understand? Yes. So I think also that anxiety. Maraga ameosha president wangu. Atwoli atanifuta kazi. My mother amekufa. I think that's what crushed me. Oh my God. Because I didn't know where to start, but God had a plan. That's
quite a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
How do you deal with all these things happening? How do you get yourself out of this? I would say it's like a bang of so many issues happening at once.
Yeah, it was really difficult for me, and family also made me sink into depression, because siblings were like, she has eaten money, state house, because Uhuru sent me a condolences, and my mom's burial, there was a lot of money that was contributed, but before God, I spent every coin. My mom died with a lot of debts. I even went to I had sent money to build my mama house. And that money I settled her debts, the remaining balance I settled that. So siblings were like, she has eaten the money, family is all over me, I'm the one who did everything for my mother, even after she died. So also that really hurt me, the anxiety. So I didn't know I had depression, because if you read my book, you'll see a lot of strategies that I used, but at the end of the day, it was major depressive disorder. I went to see psychiatrists to get admitted in hospitals. I went for therapy. So along the way of doing therapies was when I learned the coping mechanism. They're in the book. If you want to deal with the stress in this country, if you want to deal with mental health issues, you just read my book, because I can't explain everything. Correct. Everything is in my book. And then by God's grace, somewhere in 2020, I met my current sweetheart. who came with a lot of healing in my life. He's someone I can trust, he's someone I can talk to, he's someone who understands me so much, he's someone who doesn't judge. You know, out here people judge me so much. They tell so much lies about me. She slept away. Bro, I'm not a lesbian to sleep with Professor Kobe. Because people assumed I slept my way up. You have seen how I've struggled. There are so many clips everyone go. She slept with Atuali, she slept with Duru. Where do you get the president to sleep with him? Just a question, even if you want. Where do you get him? So, and me, I'm not a coward. When people accuse you out here, because that is, and being a woman is difficult. Especially when you come from nowhere and God blesses you. People don't see God. They see the people. So, he came to my life. He helped me so much. He's like my therapy. And I thank God he's here with me. He's a man I love so much. He's one of my chief therapists. But about the psychological, social support I went through is in the book. Yes. Another, it's dealing with the depression is a whole big thing. Yes. It's very expensive. Yes. It's very expensive. It's very time consuming and everything. And it's in the book. A lot of exercise, dieting, talking to people, and I thank God I healed. I healed last year. I healed last year in June. That's when my doctor now said, and I could feel. Yes. I used to have panic attacks and anxiety. You know, this anxiety came because of the death of my mother. When Maraka ndio ametumes. Sasa tena atoli sijui kama atanifukuza kazi yake nilitoroka miezi 3 bila kuomba ruhusa. And let me tell the world today, I love Atoli so much. He gave me a chance to go back to God. And when I am sorry to say this, when my mom died, Atoli gave me $500,000. $500,000 for my mom's burial preparations, and that is the money that really boosted us, because I gave my mother a very befitting, decent send-off. Her package came from Montezuma, Mona Lisa to Meru. Mercedes Enyilizika Nelson Mandela is the one that buried my mother. And I wanted to invest all the money to my mom, and I told her accepted me back. And I went back. Even today I have not resigned. I left with a leave of absence because their bosses, you can't really, their bosses, you can't have the gut to resign. And even yes. Professor Margaret, when she was coming for me, she came and told her, Jimmy, my daughter. She came humbly. You know, Professor Kobe is very humble and very smart. So she came to me as a mother, and it is because of her as well that I healed too fast, because she gave me a lot of support. She gave me a lot of motherly support, a lot of mental support. She even connected me with some good therapists. She even sponsored some sessions. And my son also was there for me. My sweetheart was there for me. And today I'm back no more. I'm a happy woman. And it's not easy, believe you me. But it's how you make the life.
Guys, there is a lot in this book. I think the last time I checked, it was on offer. Yeah. So you can, please on the comments, you can order via me, or you can, will as well give you the contacts that you can reach the author directly and order from her. As we close our session, Madam Kendi, tell us just in very few sentences about the foundation that you have to help other people who might be going through a similar situation like you went through.
Yeah, because of everything that I went through, I realized people are very selfish. They are selfish people, they are very kind people in this world. You have seen the bad people in my life and the good people in my life. So I started a foundation to advocate for girl child education, especially the girls who doesn't have a chance, they gave birth, they are at home. The girls who have gone through exactly what I've gone through, but they have no one to talk to, no one to run to. I founded a foundation called Mamri Foundation, where I raise money. I want to reach to sponsors after elections. I want to reach to sponsors. I want to reach to donors. And the proceeds from the book, that a percent is going to the foundation for charity. And the charity, I'll be, God willing, the cases I meet that like mine, girls who want a second chance, I'll give them second chances. I lobby for them. The foundation money can even pay school fees for them. The foundation money can help girls have psychosocial support. I also go to schools. Even today, I'm so passionate about what I'm telling you. I say it in universities, colleges. So instead of begging people to facilitate the money from the book, I can fuel my car. I can pay my support team to go to schools where we talk to students. We sell the book to the students at affordable prices. And this is the foundation that I want to leave as a legacy. That the day I will die, the world will say there was a woman called Kendi, and her passion was in education. Her passion was in service to humanity. And her passion was in governance and leadership, because even girls who want to take over student leadership, I sponsor. Elections is expensive.
Yeah.
I get them posters with my money,
Yeah.
and go to schools and talk to them. I network them. Some have gotten even a scholarship, but they don't have air ticket. God willing, the money from the foundation, you can even raise air ticket and give someone an international chance, you know.
Yeah.
Just want to give back to the community, because there was no one who was there for me when I was down, but people came through for me were at the Mintle, and I'm a prominent woman today because of people who held my hand. Professor Margaret Kobia, Kinywa of University of Nairobi, my fiance Abuto Geto, from Brother Francis Atoli, Professor Kindiki was my employer. He supported me so much. Commonwealth gave me a scholarship. University, you see, God came at the Mintle. And I also want to come through for others the same way God has brought people to come through for me. And above all, God loves me so much, and I love God so much. I'm that girl who really talks to God so much on everything I do. And my advice to young people is never give up. As long as you don't give up, things will always turn around. But you must work for it.
Yes.
You have seen in my book, I've worked for everything that I have, even the spaces I am in, I have worked.
Yes.
And I tell people, do what you can where you are with what you have. Use your talent, use your skills, use what you know. But don't be an idler. You cannot be an idler and successful at the same time. But you can work hard and tell God to show you a purpose. Yes, God has already showed me my purpose and what He wants me to do with my life. So Memory Foundation, for those who like to sponsor, it is there. I give details. And I don't know what God has in store for me, but I know He has bigger things for me in store.
Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
I really appreciate all the time you spent with us. If I was given a chance to summarize this in a few words, it's never give up, and in everything you do,
Put God first.
thank you very much.